Step off the train all alone at dawn, back into the home where I was born. Sun in the sky never raised the night to me. The blood on the track suddenly must be mine.
Look at Mbappé's got it. Three wide going into score.
And Mbappé does it. Oh, what a move! What a move! Himself in the history books. He is, without a doubt, the man of F1XL, but now he's a three-time F1XL champion. It's brilliant.
Good evening and welcome everybody. We are here for the F1XL first race of 2021. Unfortunately, I don't have my co-commentator Ollie with me this week. It's not down to hangover issues, I promise you. He's got a lot of stuff going on. But let us just quickly talk you around the track that we will be racing at today. Now, it is a 14-turn circuit here. It's 36 laps on a 50%er, and the Zandvoort circuit is quite narrow, quite twisty and turny through it all, but there are plenty of overtaking opportunities still to get through on this track. Now, we obviously we haven't had many races over the last couple of weeks, so let's talk about what happened last time out and how it all went down. Light Shock then having picked up a penalty for a incident with SRT Fury, which has made the championship standings really interesting. In first place, it is Light Shock with 243 points. In second place, it is Binary with 242 points, finishing 4th and 6th respectively out in Canada and Montreal. So, bringing the title fight to 1 point. And then Master Swain clawing himself back into the fight, finishing second in Canada, now only 29 points behind Light Shock. With 4 races remaining, anything is possible here. And, right. I'm hoping there is now some more game sound. I didn't realise that there was a little bit of an error in the last stream, so it could have been America. Actually, there was issues, but we'll have that one panned out. And now, strategy wise, here is very, very difficult to choose. A lot of people will want to push themselves onto a 2-stop strategy, and if there is a safety car, then that is probably the best way to go. However, no safety car, a 1-stop could very well be quicker, so it will be really interesting to see how people pick out what setup, what tyres they go on and they qualify on first, with obviously Sanchez, who took his maiden victory in Canada, is out first, and he's done a quicker time than TES Gunhead on the medium so far, but Pingers then automatically just displacing Sanchez down to third as Binary goes pole, as SRT Fury goes second with a cracking time. So there is the times are coming in quick, thick and fast, as Prophet Meaty then goes even quicker. There is a second though at the moment. Binary has got a lot on everyone else. There is only 15 drivers this week. I know Binary's team owner, Xbox Nuthead, is had issues with his wheel, so he won't be there. As for Pred, Jolly, and the like, I'm not 100% sure. There goes Master Swain into P3 with Light Shock P2. It's 6/10 separating the top 3, and the top 3 are title challengers as they stand, and Turkey's then going P4. The 109's definitely the main place to be at the moment, but we will be looking at probably a 108 for pole position. That is, I probably should have added that in. Let's go to board with, I was just going to go on board with Straka, who manages to squeeze himself into P5 with a 109.9. Sinful Chris then has retired from the session. Is that a qualifying ban for Chris? That is a weird space. Let's go on board then with Straka. Straka should see what has gone on here. No stricken car, so let's go back on board then with Pickled Avenger then. Pickled Avenger is on a lap and seeing how he can perform through here. Madman might go for another lap there, you know. He's currently faster than Gunhead. But at the moment, it's still Binary out on top. He's done a second lap on his softs for some reason, but he is coming into the pits this lap surely. So I wonder if he thought he could go quicker. And if he does do a 2-lapper on those softs early on, there is definitely an interesting one there, as Binary then goes on 109.1 on 3-lap old softs. Now this is making me wonder if if it's going to be raining in the race. Simple Chris, he did crash out unfortunately, and Chris, I think it's safe to say, New Year, same old problems for you unfortunately on that occasion. But I believe is it not your birthday today? So happy birthday, if that is the case. But hope things turn better for you in the race. You're usually better in the race than qualifying anyway. And we'll count America out of that one. Now, Binary, 3-lap olds, softs. Now, I wonder if he is going. I wonder if there is rain. Rain in the race, because 3 laps on softs is just not what you expect at all. So Binary then should definitely be going out into the pits this lap. Let's have a look back on board with Sanchez. So Sanchez coming through to start the second sector at the moment. This is a tricky part of the... Well, it's raining at the start. So interesting. That is interesting to know. So raining at the start of this Grand Prix, which will be starting in a roughly 15-20 minutes time. Still got plenty of qualifying to do. And Swain is back out on a lap. So rain at the start, I'm going to keep on saying and repeating myself. The rain at the start is definitely going to throw a few things out there. I wonder how long it's going to rain for. We know this game causes a few different issues throughout. And Sanchez then only still managing P6. Neil's then down at 13th. Not able to continue as Gunhead then retires. He's retired. Is that... Pickled Avenger going to have a look at see where that is. There is a stricken Racing Point car just after turn 1 there, heading into turn 2. And that's not good news for the Racing Point team owner. And let's go on board then with Master Swain. Whereas he's coming through the last corner. That banked last corner, turn 14, is very difficult to do. Tight to the driving. And it's a 109.4, so 3/10 between him and Binary now. So the track is quickening up, and he is the fastest man in the second sector. See, it was Pickled Avenger. See what he can produce through all this as well. So Pickled Avenger just behind his teammate Prophet Meaty on the timing screen, but he is 4/10 slower, but only a little bit quicker, 2,000ths of a tenth quicker than Pingers. So incredibly quick time there as Straka R11 pits himself into P3. Binary on a new set of softs. What can he do? See if he can break into the 108s. The 108s is probably going to be where the pole time is. I can't imagine Binary or Lightshock not being able to crack that. Swain, while not necessarily having the overall pace compared to these two, he does have a little bit more consistency, which is what has got himself through it all. But currently, Binary, fastest first sector. Oh, and a little sway. That is how tricky turn 9 can be. Turn 10 then. Looked like he controlled it well, but it does mean I think his time is not going to be as quick as it was. As there he is, steps out again. So Binary really pushing his Ferrari to the max and goes wide coming into turn 14. The banker, like I said before, very, very difficult to handle through all that. And if any of the top three crash out of this race with 4 rounds to go, yeah, as Swain goes, I can think it might be his title over with, title contention over with. But Binary and Lightshock, it'll be difficult, especially, it all depends on how the others all pan out for all this. So it wasn't quicker then for Binary through there. Lightshock's just starting his lap time, so I will stay on board with Binary to see if he will continue and do another lap. We've seen him do 3 laps on his first set of tyres, so if he can do it again here. Simple Chris, only, thankfully for him, only 15 drivers, so he doesn't have to do too much work, and then we will have Gunhead more than likely starting alongside him. And is that really slow from Binary there? I wonder if he's just going to pop into the pits this lap and go for broke on a next set, or if he's just building up his for one last push today on this set. So Binary will do this lap. Will he go quicker? He's not quicker, but this is the lap that I'm sure will be going for it. So Lightshock did improve on that last lap as a 109.216. I wonder if he will continue going. Swain is back out on track. 6 minutes left of this qualifying session to go. Fury has Binary again. A little bit skew with through all that. He's got Swain directly behind him on track. Swain again this week without a teammate. And you do wonder with Red Bull how it would have gone if there was a consistent performer alongside Swain through all this season. But Binary dropping through 9 and 10 now, and it doesn't look like it's as skew with as his first run. So I wonder if this is a setup 4 style for Binary, and this could be why he's just a little bit skew with through some of these setups. I know there's a fair few drivers through all this as he invalidates his lap coming through 13 and into the pits surely for the Ferrari this time round. Lightshock is also into the pits. Master Swain sticking close to the wall, and it is P3 but only marginally. Swain is, wow, that is doing his uttermost to get the best out of the car and the time, but he's not quick enough at the moment. 3/10 off Binary. Turkeys, I think there. Oh no, Sanchez, sorry, moves up to P6 again with Madman. P7, that's surely a season high for the Mercedes driver. He's doing well at the moment. Sloppy, just about to start a lap. He's down in 10th. And what is going on with the McLaren driver? Anything to note? He's just about to start a lap. And Straka then, where is he? He's about to start a lap as well, just behind the McLaren driver. Oh, I thought that was him. Sloppy just losing a little bit of the back end there, but thankfully it is not for him. Now, I don't think Swain will do another lap. He's just in front of Sloppy here. 4 minutes left of the session. Swain into the pits. He's happy to do the 1 lap on each. And he just parks it into the pits. I wonder if he'll come back out or not. Stracker is on a lap just behind this McLaren, but we will stay on board with the McLaren of TES Sloppy. And it seems like a tight, nice little turn 3 there for the McLaren driver. And, well, I've heard a lot of good things about this track from the drivers when they're practice. Obviously, they've had an extra week practicing because of the Christmas and New Year break. We didn't race last Sunday. And Sloppy's able to... There doesn't seem to be any issues through the corners. Whether he's not pushing enough, like Binary was a few moments ago. But he is catching up quite rapidly to the Williams in front of him, who drops out of the way, but that's still very close. I think he would have preferred some slipstream going down the start-finish straight, to be perfectly honest. Around turn 14, and he's going for the pit wall, and it's P5 for the McLaren driver, the sole McLaren driver at the moment. Stracker then crossing the line and does not go quicker. He's going to be on the second row as things stand. He's got on board with Prophet Meady. He's the second of the 2 Williamses out on track. And, well, Williams and Haas are 2 teams with full drivers. I think the other one is Alpha Tauri and Racing Point, sorry. Master Swain then had another set of softs in the locker and just slow round turn 10 there to let Pickled Avenger through. And with 1 minute 55 remaining of qualifying, Pickled Avenger then is going to be the first one to set the final laps of all of these. Nearly everyone is out on track apart from the 2 drivers who have crashed out of qualifying. And Pickled Avenger then crossing the line. Can he get himself into the top 10? He can't. It's P11 currently for the Williams driver. Let's go on board with his teammate, Prophet Meady. Can he get himself any further? He's jumped Madman. So into P8 for the other Williams at the moment. Crossing the line, Stracker, will he be setting another lap time? Or he will be, with the rain starting at the start of the race. He's again not quicker. So he found extra time unexpectedly on that middle run of his, and there it is, Binary into the 108.8s, and I thought that might be the case. Light Shock, it's not for, it's Pingers who's starting a lap. Fury manages to post himself into P7. Here comes Light Shock. Can he do anything about it? No, it's a 109.1. Sanchez then crossing the line and staying P8. There's still 37 seconds remaining. Can Niels get himself ahead of the Racing Point? He can't at the moment. There's another Racing Point crossing the line. Turkeys does not improve. Master Swain then. Can he improve? Everything's going on at once, and Swain does improve. It's a 109.2, but not enough at the moment. And that the Ferrari has dropped out, and Fury then, I wonder if that was being Fury being held up by the Ferrari or not. I don't want to make assumptions on this one, but Fury was seemingly going fast and then all of a sudden stopped. Anyone else setting lap times? Is that it for qualifying? Has everyone peaked too early? Pingers then going to cross the line on his first proper run for his P11. Then he dropped out of it and then dropped back into it. And yeah, everyone's seeming to pop into the pits now. There it is, everyone definitely dropping in. And Gunhead managing to keep ahead of Niels at the moment. Will Swain pit? He pits. Prophet Meady. Pickled Avenger definitely pitting. The Alfa Romeo pitting. Madman then P7. I'm sure that is a qualifying high for the Mercedes driver, and with the wet at the start, it's going to be extra interesting. Prophet Meaty. Oh, he's going again. The P7, so knocking Madman down, and I'm sure Madman's going to be pretty irate about that, losing it at the end there. Pinger's then finishing qualifying, and everyone has finished their qualifying session for today. And well, there you have it. It is binary on pole, 2/10, 3/10 quicker than Light Shock. And that is what everyone will be talking about. However, the rain at the start of the race is going to catch a lot of people by surprise. I am sure this track is built for speed, but with the tight, twisty circuit sections, I'm sure people are going to have a few issues. Now let's have a look at it again. It is binary on pole with Light Shock alongside him on the front row. In the second row then, it is Master Swain and Stracker R11. Third row consists of Sloppy and Turkeys, and the fourth row consists of Prophet Meaty and TES Madman. 9th and 10th is SRT Fury and Sanchez, the Haas duo for this week, and then Pingers in 11th with Pickled Avenger in 12th. The 13th is the crashing out TS Gunhead, with 14th it's going to Niels 998, and then Sinful Chris, who could barely start a time unfortunately. And yes, he will start in 15th place. Now, Sander, if there is an F2 stream, it will be done by Whatwire. But I never know his availability and when he's actually going to do it or not. So if he is doing it, then it's cool. However, we're here for F1. But thank you for stopping by. Hope you're well. Bingers, thanks for that. Anyway, so first race of the new year, 2021, kicks off in Zandvoort. Now, some of these drivers will be wanting a very good new year and picking themselves up into certain battles, and I think Sloppy is going to be one of them, wanting just to get things rolling in his direction. There's been a few out of sort results. I mean, the first half of the season, I don't know, he's very much an up and down driver, but from round 14, or even 14th and 16, and even 17 at Mexico, things seem to have stabilised and he was claiming some good points, but things starting just to creep the other way, and that's definitely what you want to be doing. Stracker then still in an outside possibility of claiming that ASR spot from Sloppy. Sinful Chris, I think he's almost certain now. That 31 point buffer he's got is doing him a lot of good with 4 rounds remaining. They are readying themselves up for the start of this Netherlands Grand Prix, the Dutch Grand Prix, the Zandvoort here at F1XL. Who cares? Could not find it. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, Sander. Sorry. But right, very well. It's Inter's to start this Grand Prix. It's binary on pole. Let's have a look. Telemetry. Don't want that. I want positional changes off the start. Now this is going to be absolutely AlphaTauri. I mean, he's second at the moment. Light Shock's got a good chance of this. He doesn't want to do more of that. Wheel spinning is not ideal now. And just looking through the grid, it's going to be a tasty race. Everyone's starting on intermediate tyres. So usually I'd ask Ollie at this point what his thoughts for this race are. I mean, Binary is not hanging around at all. He's gone full speed ahead. He definitely wants to get this race done and dusted very quickly. By the looks of things, maybe he's not confident about those softs, about those being on inters. Maybe he just wants that early door lead if he can. But yeah, Binary gone a bit too quickly, I think. Tyres, especially in the wet, whether it will take into effect cooling down or not, is going to be an interesting one to say the least. What is going on? Right, he was saying it was that way too early. Let's have a look at Master Swain. We're waiting for the lights. I can't really see them. We're on 5 lights now. And away we go. Who's going to hold up off the start? It looks like a very poor start from the Renault, actually. He's going to get caught straight away. Binary is lucky as well. I think Master Swain. Stracker's gone up the inside, which has caused Swain to pull out wide. Lightshock has got the position, but I think Sloppy is going to get through as well. Sloppy is through. There's a little bit of dicing between Turkey and Sanchez. I think there's a position drop. Is that Simple Chris up to 9th? I think that would be a bit weird if it is, but especially starting from 9th. But everything is all over the place at the moment. Master Swain is all over the back of the AlphaTauri. He's got a little bit more, maybe a bit more grip and a bit more confidence through the wet than Lightshock does at the moment. And you can see the lines taken. Out wide goes Sloppy, and I think that is Prophet Meady desperate to get past. And Prophet Meady is up 2 places. A great start for the Williams driver, trying to get himself back up to places that he should usually be. That is Simple Chris up to 9th. A great start for Simple Chris as Turkeys and Sanchez are side by side, and there's contact into the wall for Turkeys and Sanchez, and that is not great for those two. And let's go quickly on board. Just out through here. Let's have another look. There's a Madman up into P8, and I think it's just a little bit of, I don't know, I can't really say. Looking back on the stream, I can't say whose fault was that. But Sloppy then up into P4. Great start for the McLaren driver. And a train. Look at SRT Fury trying to get through Madman up into the inside, but nothing to it for Madman. For Fury. But Madman does actually have to be defending into turn 3. He's got to have the inside line just to stop the attack from the Haas. And nothing on that occasion. Ping is then up into P10, and into the pits is Sanchez and Turkeys. Let's go on board. Okay, I thought Stracker had managed to overtake 2 places, but he hasn't. It is Lightshock dropping further and further away from title rival Binary, and well, you do have to start to wonder what is going on. Ooh, and there, Sloppy is a lot slower through 10 than I think anyone really was anticipating. Right, let's... I don't know what's going on with the stream, but it is very jaggedy at the moment, so I might have to restart it. So, bear with me a moment, and I will just make sure that there is no further action. As there goes Prophet, just a little bit of a slide, which allows Prophet, allows Strackett and Simple Chris to catch up and Sloppy to move further away. But everything is a little bit grainy on this side, so let us up the inside goes Simple Chris on Stracker through turn 3, and it is a move done at the moment. So right, let's hope this works. There we go. That's more like it, isn't it? So nothing else has changed. Stracker was able to keep ahead of Sinful Chris through all that exchange. Madman is keeping him, well, actually pulling away from SRT Fury at the moment. Oh, and Sinful Chris then having a little moment there through 13. It's definitely not what you want, as Sloppy and Prophet Media battling, continuing again. Lap 4 of this 36 lap race, and it is Binary who is in the lead of this Grand Prix by a second to Lightshock, with Master Swain doing his uttermost to keep a hold of all kind of title fights at the moment and being, well, just right up there when you need to be. Anything can happen, and we've seen a few people already having issues controlling the car through some of these sectors, still pissing it down with rain, or persisting it down with rain at the moment, and definitely going to be an interesting one. And that's Niels then, close to the back of Pickled Avenger as well, but this is the closest fight we've got going on at the moment. Sinful Chris, I think he is quicker than Stracker in this current situation, and it would have been interesting to see where Sinful Chris would have qualified in all this. There he is, all over the back of that Renault. Will he have a chance into turn 11? Sorry, and he does not. Let's quickly go here, and turn 7 then, very, very close. Turn 7. The Sinful Chris is in 7th, but very close to Stracker in 6th. But at the moment, it's just turning out to be a little bit of a train forming, and Madman is catching this ever so slightly, this battle. And Prophet Media was able to get away from Stracker. There's a 3-second gap to him and between him and Sloppy and Stracker, sorry. And we'll wait to see how it all pans out a bit later on, I'm sure. But at the moment, Silver Chris all over the back of that Renault, and he's got a few opportunities turning up, especially around here, turns 10 and 11. If the driver ahead takes turn 10, the angle all wrong. And at the moment, Stracker is taking it right, but you see the line that Sinful Chris took there. That's all down to the dirty air that's coming off of Stracker, and he's just not able to get the right momentum through it all. So if Stracker makes the wrong move into that turn, I think that is his best opportunity for an overtake, because he doesn't seem quicker throughout at the moment. Let's have a quick look on board with Prophet Media. I don't think Swain is going to be quick enough at the moment to get through it all, but Swain goes fastest of all. He's putting down the laps. Will Prophet Media have a look at Sloppy? He does not. Sinful Chris is too far back from Stracker. He's looking a little bit out of sorts at the moment, and he's got to start thinking about getting a move on, because Madman has brought along a very quick SRT Fury, it seems, at the moment. He's got on board with Swain again. I don't think there was any issues further on, but the gap between these guys and the next battle down is grown to 2.2 seconds. So at the moment, Swain is looking very quick, and yellow flag in sector 1. That Fury, and is that damage to Fury? He's going very slowly. I can't see damage. There is no damage, but he's obviously made a mistake somewhere, because now he's down to 12th, and he's let the pressure off Madman a little bit in. Oh, that's pickled into the wall. What has happened to the Williams driver? He's got a lot of work to do now. Is that there's damage as well? It's not what you want at all. Let's go back on board with the battle for P4. So a few people losing out. I think he's just overcooked it into turn 9 there and just put a bit too much power down, and that's the only problem with that set of corners, is you've got a lot of got a lot of power down there, obviously, and just lost it. Sloppy then, look at how the angle of that corner, and Abravam Profit might have gone into an overtake possibility there. And wow. Let's just have a quick look. Right, it's all at the moment quiet, but Sloppy is very much in danger from Profit Meaty. Will Profit, if he can get on the outside into turn 12, that might be a possibility for him. He's just got to make sure he doesn't do anything rash, but into the 14, sorry. And Sloppy is really struggling through all this. Lightshock is pulling away, is dropping, further away from Binary, with Master Swain managing to recapture his form before that. A little bit of a tank slapper. Stracker is holding ground to Sinful Chris, and Madman then is, dropped about a second to Sinful at the moment. Nothing much to it. Niels is in the points, but could get an extra point if he can overtake the AlphaTauri of Pingers. Pingers is doing a good job holding him off at the moment. Back in P8, 9 and 10 respectively. Is that Pickled again? Same point. Is there damage? Oh, he's put dry tyres on. So it could be time. I was going to say in a couple of seconds that it could be time soon to think about it as the rain has stopped. But I think it's too early. There's too much spray. And Pickled is hard compound, and it's not for the best. Has Binary gone really slow? Not really. I think it's really slow. It's just slowing for the yellow flags maybe, but has given Lightshock a little bit of chance to catch up. And Master Swain still keeping within the same time limit to Sloppy than what we Lightshock, what we remembered, and Profit Meaty then all over the back of Sloppy. Again, there is a retirement then, and into the a fake into the pit there from Sloppy, and nearly caught out Profit Meaty in the end, but not on this occasion. And there is a pit for Madman. Madman is into the pits, and look at that. That again, we saw it on this lap, this corner, turn 3, a few laps ago. Sloppy just having a few issues through all this at the moment, and there's still plenty of spray bringing up. And I don't know if Madman has made the right choice going on to hard compound tyres. Let's see, let's go on board a little bit with him. Profit's dropped off from the McLaren driver a little bit, and there seems to be plenty of sliding. I think it's too soon for dry tyres, and Madman was up in a great position. I don't think he's taken any damage. Let's have a look at the pit stops. There's no front wing change, so... And his time is plummeting. So, too soon for dry tyres at the moment. He's really falling from turkeys at the moment. From Sanchez. It's now 6 seconds. 6 seconds in a lap is not good. And Sloppy then not feigning going into the pits this time, but he's still got Profit Meaty for company. And these... Lightshock is caught right up with the Ferrari of Binary as well. There's no chance, though, of a Master Swain pred hold-up of Binary because there is no pred this week. But they are all just over a second apart. 3 drivers just over a second apart. Binary is now doing his best to keep a hold of the position. There's plenty of spray still popping up from these tyres. It's definitely not time for pits yet. But Madman is now, he's staying out. He's still dropping time to Sanchez as well. He's made the move, and I think that's the only way you can really do it. You've got to stick to your guns because he'll lose more time as Fury's retired. Just ahead, I wonder if that's going to be a safety car. It's into the wall for Fury. He was struggling with hard compound tyres as well. So another one pushing too early, but still plenty of spray, and it is a VSC at the moment. And that will give us time, a little bit of time, just to catch things out. Is that Pingers losing a position to Gunhead? Interesting what went on there, because Pingers was ahead of Niels. And another feint into the pits then for Sloppy. Virtual safety car still out. Stracker managing to eke a little bit more time out from Sinful Chris. And Fury then leaving the session. I realise I don't know if anyone is going to join my party because it is set to do not disturb. And into the pits then is Pingers for a set of hard compound tyres. The spray's still kicking up, but nowhere near as bad as it was before. He's going to come out way in front of Madman, and Turkey's then all over the back of Madman. I think that says it all, especially without the DRS enabled. Ooh, Turkey's has so much more grip than Madman at the moment. Let's go back on board. And he goes past Madman with ease. So definitely not time for hard compound tyres yet. Another one who has bit the bullet a bit too early. There's no DRS enabled system yet. But the spray is still kicking up. I think maybe lap 13 is probably when people need to start thinking about pitting for a dry set of dry tyres. Probably hard by the looks of things, because people are just going to go to the end of the Grand Prix. It is possible to take your mediums to the end from lap 14. Well, you've got to be very, very careful on your tyres, and I wonder if anyone will make the attempt. But these guys do weirder things as the spray's still kicking up. Prophet Meaty slowly dropping away from Sloppy though, so I wonder if anything. Was Swain carrying a bit too much speed through there. I think that's through 6 and 7 and managing to correct itself. And there is the DRS. Look at Pingers' time. Pingers is passed by Turkeys. We'll wait and see. Turkeys is into the pits. Will the top lot pit as well? This is where things will all pan out. Let's have a look. Swain looking still racy on these set of tyres as Prophet Meaty's again all over the back. And I wonder if those guys, being 4 seconds behind, I don't think they will, but they could prove vital as Swain stays out. Interesting. Now that is a strategy call I have not seen in a long time. I don't know if it's going to be quicker or not. At the moment, I'm looking at Pingers' time. Pingers is not losing or gaining ground to Sanchez. If Swain can put a lap if he can put a lap together, an in lap from the gods, he is in for a great chance. Mediums for Niels, then into the pits. Everyone's dropping in. Prophet Meaty and Simple Chris both stay out. There's not much spray kicking up anymore. Can the Red Bull do an unthinkable strategy? We'll wait and see. Let's have a look. I think it was too much. I think it is too much. Binary, 14 seconds. We'll wait and see. Interval. Light shock then. Oh, wow. This is going to be one crazy end to the race. I'm not sure. I really am not sure how it's all going to pan out. I think maybe Swain has made the wrong choice, but he's still pulling away from Prophet into the pits. Oh, Swain, how has he held that? How has Swain held that going into the pits? I think that just proves it's time to go into the pits for the dry compound tyres. Sinful Chris then right behind him is Binary. The hard compound tyres for Master Swain. Oh. He's going to be right in the mix of... Oh, is Sloppy going to have that? No, he's not. He is not. Swain has come out further behind Light Shock than he was before going in. But how did that man save it? I I think maybe without having to save it, he could have been a bit closer, but what a save nonetheless. Sloppy then all over, well, going to be all over the back of him with DRS. Swain's got a lot of work to do there. Sanchez going on a set of softs. Fastest man at the moment is Madman down in 12th. But Sanchez and Niels is, I can understand Niels, him trying the softs, mediums, but soft set for Sanchez. A lot of work to be done for the Haas driver. Fastest man now is Turkeys. He's had a little bit of time to get himself used to things as well. But fastest man will be Sanchez when all this is said and done. But still plenty of time. Light Shock 1.2 seconds. Binary fastest man. Light Shock even faster. Master Swain then having Sloppy for company, and now this is what Swain did not want. He did not want a McLaren all over the back of him, and the DRS is definitely going to help the McLaren driver. As he goes into the back of the Red Bull. Niels now faster, and there goes Sanchez. We were expecting those kind of times to start dropping in, and Swain has a lot of work on his hand. Light Shock then, let's go on to that, because he is closing up on Binary. He is the fastest man out of the top three, out of the title contenders, but he is managing just, I think he needs that DRS just to get a little bit more on Binary. And wow, plenty of stuff still to go through. Lap 15 of 36. Will just cast your mind quickly while there's a little bit of lull in the action. Actually, Sinful Chris is all over the back of Stracker again. So this is resumed once more. I did see Pickled actually say in the chat what happened to him. So let's quickly, first one for me, we'll start turning over and over. Didn't want to start, but already throwing it away anyway. Okay. So definitely issues here. Simple Chris will have a look up the inside, but not on this occasion. Now this is what I don't think, as Sanchez goes even quicker, that strategy will play a massive part at this. And I think if you go a lower setup force, as Simple Chris is going for it, actually, he's putting his car in where Stracker trying to defend through it all, and there you can see some people are just not comfortable through sectors, turns 5 to 8, and Sinful Chris very much comfortable through it all, and having the ability to get himself through. Now Stracker then, has he got enough? I wonder if Sinful Chris will go to the outside of this corner, go the long way round. He's just not got enough. But Swain now pulling away from Sloppy. Well, he's again slightly pulling away from Sloppy, but bringing Master Swain for company. Swain is bringing Sloppy for company to Light Shock. That gap has reduced a little bit. Swain is trying to get himself back into there. Here comes Sinful Chris up the inside into turn 1, or down the start finish straight, and the move is done. Will the switchback be happening for the Renault driver? He doesn't have enough grip at that occasion, and into P6 comes Sinful Chris. He's got a lot of work to do. Gunhead receives, I think, the first time penalty of the race. I think Prophet Media has a 5-second one for something else. So Madman then going fastest down in P12. Interestingly, that the soft isn't the fastest at the moment. So let's move again, actually on board. I think Sinful Chris has got this settled for P6. I think you're going to see him start pulling away from the battle here. But Light Shock then is getting ever so close to Binary. He sets the fastest lap of the race again. As the game is telling me he's going to be pitting this lap for mediums. These guys are definitely going to go to the end of the Grand Prix. There's no point in them pitting. Surely Sanchez is pulling away, but He's set the fastest lap, but he's not going to be going too much through it all. Sloppy's back up with Master Swain, but Master Swain is catching back up with Light Shock. I wonder if Binary is having issues, or if he is just playing this his way and backing everyone up and having having people behind battling instead of him only having to worry about Light Shock, who might make a move at any point. Light Shock then is just not close enough at the moment, but Master Swain is 1.4 seconds behind Light Shock. I wonder if... No, that wouldn't be a wise move for Light Shock to do. Let Swain through and let Swain have a pop at Binary. But I don't know, he's getting ever so close into turn 1. Will there be a move? No. Sloppy goes fastest of all yet again. This DRS down the start-finish straight is really helping people. Sloppy is very close to the back of Master Swain. Master Swain's going to have to worry about that soon if he's not careful. Can't see penalties properly, but 5 seconds for Prophet Meaty down to Simple Chris. There's got to be a 3 second. So at the moment there is a 3 second buffer for Prophet Meaty, but if things don't go his way, things might change. He's pulling away from Stracker, though, is Simple Chris, but Sanchez really isn't catching Stracker, so the soft tyres aren't really the ones to be on. I don't believe, a personal opinion, obviously, but it's an opinion nonetheless, as Turkeys then goes fastest of all in P13. What an awful, unfortunate race he has got. Light Shock then falling away from Binary a little bit. It could be the way he took that corner, though, mind you. We'll wait and see. He's dropping off, actually. That's unexpected in that sense. Wasn't expecting that. Maybe it's a bit of ERS saving there for Binary, for Light Shock, and the vice versa for Binary a few laps before. We don't know, but he's got a lot of work to do. Sloppy gets awfully close to the back end of Master Swain. Swain really does have to just turn the pressure up a little bit, as you can see the different angles that they take turn 3 at. I think turn 10 and 11 is also one that they'll have to worry about as well. Turn 9 isn't as crucial, but this one that they're at now, but this one ahead, got to make sure they take that correctly, and it does look like they do. So Swain's got an extra lap tyre life in his compared to everyone else's around him. Prophet Media is 4 seconds off, so maybe not Prophet, but let's have a look. Stracker's caught himself back up with Sinful Chris. He's clinging on for dear life there, but Master Swain is just falling a little bit. Binary using full width of that curb. He's got to be careful because it can give warnings that as Binary goes fastest, but Light Shock responds straight away, being in the DRS zone, and these two going hammer and tongs, and will be, I'm sure, for the remainder of the race. So at the moment, Binary clinging on. It's 4/10 of a second between the two at the moment. Swain hasn't been able to respond. Light Shock has got a little bit of work to do, though. He keeps doing this as there's a retirement from Gunhead just ahead. Will that cause a safety? It's a full course safety car. So now what do these guys do? Will they pit or will they stay out? I think they're likely to stay out. Medium compound tyres will definitely get them to the end here. Sanchez is definitely pitting on. Look at that poor racing point there. But it will bring a few people who've had bad luck through all this back together. Who pits? Let's find out. Binary doesn't pit. Now that is a shock to me. Binary has not pitted. But Light Shock and Master Swain has gone on to softs. I wonder if that's a glitch, because they look like they used softs as well. Oh, Swain Ooh, and over the line for sloppy, but yeah, they look used. Well, I could be wrong though. Safety car out. Everyone else is on medium compound tyres. This is crazy to say the least. Not what I was expecting, but yeah, Gunhead. Unfortunate for him, he clipped the curb and he spun, so he's out of this race for him. It's a shame for Racing Point. Turkeys is dropping himself into the pits, probably coming out on a set of mediums. Pingers and Madman onto a set of softs. So that's interesting to say the least. Master Swain is going to be fast off the beginning of all this. Light shot. Why didn't Binary pit? Will he pit now? It's too late to pit. He's got a lot of gas to overtake. He's still going to be quick, but I just don't get reasonings behind it. We've seen some awful, I say awful, it could end up being a genius stroke there from Binary, but we've seen some really weird decision making from the title contenders through this season. It was Master Sway a few weeks back, I believe. Possibly America stared out on a set of softs. It's interesting. Pickled, I get what you're saying, but it's a myth. This track you can't overtake. You've got turn 4 which you can overtake at, and I've been calling that turn 3 all race. Turn 1, you can overtake there. Turn 10 and then now people need to look at how people take turn 10 ahead of them, because often there are a lot of people very tentative with turn 10, and if you're too tentative through there, then that leaves an opportunity for the car behind to overtake you at turn 11. Now, turn 10 and 11, if you go deep into turn 10, you can never get turn 11 at good speed correctly. The safety car is coming in this lap, is he? I don't know. It's just Binary letting him go through. And then lastly, turn 12 is also a good opportunity. I know people will try go up the inside of turn 12. But if you go around the outside of 12, then you have the inside for 13. It's all about positioning of your car. No, Binary's not done for. I wouldn't say he's done for, but it's very hard, Pickled, to commentate on my own, so I need to kind of make hypothetical things in my head as Sanchez picks up a 5-second penalty for a collision with Niels. Interesting. He's definitely not done for. We've seen Swain back in, I think it was France, or was it Russia, make exactly the same decision as Binary has made here, and he was able to stay. He didn't come in on the hards, and he won the race. Because of the battling that was going on behind. Now, maybe Binary's going to do this as well. Like, I didn't even get a chance to go down this route before I responded to you. Maybe I should have responded to you. Yeah, maybe I should have gone down this route before responding. But if Binary can... If Swain tries to overtake Light Shock early, if Binary gets a decent get-off from the safety car, he has every chance of maintaining that gap behind. And... yeah, it's all how Binary dictates this, the start of this safety car. Now, Gunhead has just jumped himself into the party, so I'm guessing he's going to come and help with commentary. So I'll turn my mic on so he can hear me. And Yeah, hopefully we can be heard now. But they're going very slow for the safety car. So sorry, Gunhead, I'll have to introduce you in a minute. But Binary going very slow over the line, but he might have left it too late. Lightshock is going up the inside. That is what Binary did not need. Lightshock has the grip at the moment. They're going to go side by side through 3 and into 4. Binary needs to hold on to the inside into 4. Switch back maybe, but Binary definitely holding a bit more speed through it all. And Lightshock now dropping back to second and has Master Swain for company. And there's penalties for those two. Now, interesting through all that. I think they're probably going to get those removed because most of them, the 5 seconds one, do get removed because there's no... it's a bit of a dick move from Codemasters. But as we see Lightshot come through, just your quick thoughts on Binary's decision to stay out. Well, it's closed everyone back up, and obviously, I know you didn't do this on purpose, but it's brought turkeys back into the fray a little bit. All right. Definitely has. I'm hoping Pickle can now hear you because apparently you can't be heard. But I think I exactly know why. I'm hoping. Well, you're going to have to do a very good job of telling me if something happens. Everyone's going to see my settings because.
Lightshock is still stuck behind Binary.
Right, there we go.
Master Swain, Sloppy, and Prophet really close as well. It's just really close right now. Everybody, all the way down to sort of 8th place, is in one very long train.
Well, we've seen a virtual and a safety car already, so there is a possibility of another safety car through all of this. There's plenty of penalties to come, I can see. But Swain's decision to go on to softs, tyres, they do last longer here than the game suggests, and what people really can think they can go. But is it a bit too much asking of a pair of softs to go over 10 laps?
But I think it was a bad decision purely because he had nothing to gain by going onto the soft tyres, being in that pack. It's such a hard track to overtake at that unless you are head and shoulders above the pack in pace, you might as well have just gone onto the medium tyres and stuck in that fight. Now he's risking burning out those tyres and losing out to those top guys.
Yeah, it's problematic for them. I'm now going to have to maybe reduce your...
I was going to say, they can go. They can go to the end, but if he makes any mistakes, he's going to suffer.
I don't know if you saw it, but he's made one hefty save going into the pits on the intermediates. He stayed out a lap longer than everyone else, but it's now bright sunshine here in the Netherlands. I was going to say Holland and I'm sure Roland would tell me off for saying that. He tells Taz off. But yeah, plenty still to go. Simple Chris down to 8th. So he's lost out positions to Prophet and Sanchez, and I think that must be down to pit stops. And actually Stracker up to P5. So a lot's going on.
Prophet's gone for a different setup to everybody else. He was probably banking on the rain staying a bit longer. I know that he's gone for a very low downforce setup, whereas everybody else, I believe, went preset 4. I myself went preset 2 and I was really suffering with overheating, so I'm thinking he might be suffering from the same problem.
Will Swain got the inside into turn 1? He has a look. Both holding our breath, I think, there.
I think the driver I'm most impressed with at this top 4 battle is Sloppy, because he's not letting them get away from him as fast as I thought they might. He's come quite fast towards the second half of the season. It'd be interesting to see if he can get a legitimate podium here, capitalising on the mistake of one of these top 3.
Well, I think what would be a perfect podium for the title fight would probably be Swain winning, Sloppy second, and then I think it would have to be Binary third as a VSC, and that's Turkey's out of the race.
Profit Meaty. Profit Meaty's out.
What?
I missed it.
I feel sorry for Turkey's because he's just retired in the pit lane. So not.
He's going to be kicking himself.
Yeah. Not ideal, but the battle for P9 and 10 over Pingers and Madman. I'm sure we'll watch that one intently in a bit. Let's see how the virtual safety car ends. And well, Binary very slow. I say very slow. He's got light shock around the outside. There's contact between the two of them again. Can Swain capitalise? No. He has. Swain's capitalised. Binary. Well, I don't want to say he's pushed Light Shock off the track, but Light Shock has gone off the track from contact with Binary. I don't want Binary to think that I'm picking on Binary. Now that's out of the way. Swain is leading the race.
That was a bit dicey, but I just think that was two drivers not willing to give up the position, and both of them losing out in big time in the long run there.
Yeah.
Because now, if Swain can hold these tyres together, there is no way that Binary will be able to stay with him.
And Sloppy, though, just like you said, look, Binary slipping through turn 10. Sloppy's in a brilliant position here, and I'm sure Sloppy knows maybe just to wait a little bit because Binary doesn't have the DRS. He doesn't have the advantage of DRS from in front. And I've noticed coming through on the curb between 14 and 15, Binary likes to use a lot of curb. He doesn't on this lap, just to prove me wrong. But it could work against him towards the latter stages of the race. Master Swain goes fastest of all. He's capitalised on the mistake of Light Shock and Binary. Both of them, like you say, not wanting to give up a position has cost them big time. And Sloppy, I think through turn 4, which I've said is turn 3 through every part since the safety car. In the rain, Sloppy was really struggling, especially at that corner. He had Prophet Meaty all over the back of him. But here, I think in the dry, Sloppy's may have the advantage.
I think you might be right. I mean, Sloppy's got the better tyres on now, and at this point, Binary's must... I don't even know what time he stopped. Let me have a look real quick, see when there... So, Binary's sat on 17 lap old tyres. Now, I think they probably would go the full 36 lap race distance, but I don't know how much pace he's going to have, especially on these last sort of 5 laps. I think Sloppy has a really strong advantage right now if he can just hold it together.
Obviously,
the other side of it, Master Swain's not escaping as fast as I expected him to.
I think with the tyre, I think it's 6 laps. Technically, these tyres are the age of the tyres. Maybe 7 now.
I suppose technically, yeah.
With the safety car, which has obviously helped Binary as well, as everyone. It's helped everyone in this position, but yeah, I don't know. This is a bit of a conundrum that I'm not really used to at this stage of the race. I'm used to Master Swain doing the different strategy, and well, Binary usually playing. I don't want to say playing it safe, but doing the strategy that you go in at that lap on the safety car and go onto a mediums. I'm not used to him making a bold call at this point. He did, though I suppose he did it at Monaco, and I wasn't slating him. I was saying he was making the wrong decision, but he could have made the right decision. But he is now recatching Master Swain, so I'm thinking Swain possibly having a hit, not the wall, but the crossover between the times starting to be slower. Sorry.
And Swain has used quite a lot more of his ERS than Binary has. Binary seems to be saving it very well over the course of the lap, as he proves both of us wrong with those hard tyres, or me especially, by setting the fastest lap of the race so far, beating everybody so far on those tyres, which is very impressive. But Swain is burning his ERS, I think, to try and keep ahead, but that's not going to do his tyres any favour at all. And Sloppy just needs to sit in the wings and wait for these two to start battling and do exactly what Swain did and just capitalise on any little mistake from either driver. The biggest loser, obviously, today is still Lightshock 16, who's stuck behind Straka in 5th place.
And that's going to be a gutter for him. Starting this race 1 point ahead could effectively go... I'm trying to work out the maths and it's not working.
I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm too
14
enraptured.
points behind, which is huge. As Binary goes fastest in Sector 2, he's definitely turning up the pressure a little bit. He's settled himself. Like exactly what I said Sloppy to do was set back and just settle, see if Binary makes another mistake. Binary hasn't made another mistake. He's settled his nerves and he's going back at it.
I am looking back down. I've just looked back down the order and seen Madman is now up into 8th place. He's managed to pass Pingers and Niels, and he's too far away, I think, from Chris, especially with his penalties that he will get removed. But he's looking like a really good contender for one of his best finishes of the season, which is good to see from the Mercedes. It's a shame there's only 10 guys left, but
yeah, at the end of the day, you've got to be in it.
You've got to finish. Yeah, you've got to finish.
But Binary's dropped off a little bit from Swain. I think Swain has the measure of him in the first sector. The second sector, I think, is Binary. And I think in the third sector, I think Swain Softs has just given him the advantage he needs to stay ahead for the time being. 2.5 laps, 3 laps remaining. Brain just not working. But we've seen it through it all. Binary managing to get the quickest second sector. But, I mean, Sloppy's doing a great job at the moment. I'm almost certain Swain's going to have that time penalty removed and Binary is going to finish second but all of this. But I know, obviously, you know a little bit about the title fight at the moment and how it all is swinging down. I mean, who does this... Obviously, it gives Binary the advantage in the standings, but does this give advantage to anyone else in all this? Or is this...
I think this is advantage Swain right now, because if he can pull out this win, get his penalty removed and keep that win, then this is going to go to advantage Swain, because he's come from a bit further back than the other two. I think he started in the third, was it third he qualified?
Yeah.
And so he was not the fastest out of the top 3 title contenders, and this is going to give him, I think, that boost to try and maybe get himself back into those ways at the start of the season where he was just dominant.
But at the moment, he is struggling.
It's very close.
1.5 laps remaining. Binary has nearly pushed him through turn 11 there as a big lock-up and maybe a corner cut as well. Let's have a look.
That would be a warning, I should say. That will be a warning.
Let's see what Binary can do down the start-finish straight. Swain already having to save it from going into the pits once already. Can Binary have enough pace in him? He's gonna have it. Surely down the outside. It's the fastest lap for Binary, and it's the second time this season he's done it. Or has he? Oh, yeah, he has. Very close.
That was a very close move. That was props to Swain for not giving up the position as well there, but that was a very nice, tidy move from Binary.
So into the lead is Binary, and Niels and Pingers are battling out for last place, I think, at the moment, but I don't want to fall from this one.
Oh, that was close between Niels and Pingers there. This is going to be a nice little fight for the end as well. It would be good to jump on board with them once these top 3 cross the line.
Yeah, well, if they cross the line, we've got to make sure that happens.
If they cross the line.
But yeah, Master Swain dropping off those tyres. It's a good little try from Master Swain, but it wasn't to be. A good strategy call nonetheless, and we'll still, well, I'm sure he'll be happy with a P2 providing that penalty gets removed. But let's just...
I still think he could take the advantage, but he might be a bit... I mean, it might make him think twice before jumping onto what is the fastest tyre.
And there we go. Binary takes victory. Swain second, as Pingers has dropped off, I think, from Niels in the end. Straka coming home in P3, but probably 4. Light Shock then P5 with Sinful Chris. Well, that's an interesting close time behind there. Sanchez P7, Madman P8, Niels P9, and then Pingers P10, I'm sure. As Nuthead
Everybody must be happy to finish that race.
Sinful Chris getting driver of the day. But Nuthead is, well, going off on one in the chat, being very, very happy, as a team owner should be, on that one as Binary goes and takes the victory here. I won't do podium questions this week. It's one of those that is... I think Ollie does it better than me, and obviously with the time penalties being removed, I don't want to give poor Straka hope that he was going to get a podium, and he doesn't get it in the end. But from what you've seen at the end there, Gunhead, who do you think would take a deserved driver of the day?
As much as I'd like to give it to the birthday boy, Sinful Chris, I have to give that to Binary, because he just made the perfect strategy call there to stay out on the hard tyres, and it paid off for him to get the win at the end of the day. I mean, whether tickets come into it or appeals or whatever, regardless of what happened with penalties, he took the win and he did it very well.
He did it well. I had to do it at the end. That last.
Oh yeah, the last lap overtake again.
was mental. He's becoming a habit. Well, it's becoming a habit, that, and I'm sure we'll see for certain how it all pans out in the end. But obviously, we'll do a quick rundown. It's Binary taking victory with the fastest lap as well, which helps with Sloppy currently in P2 with Straka rounding out the podium. Master Swain is P4, but penalties might be removed, which will push him back up to P2, and Light Shock P5 with Sinful Chris P6, the birthday boy. P7 is Sanchez, P8 is Madman, P9 Niels 998, and the last of the runners is F1XL Pingers in 10th. Non-finishes is Prophet Meaty, Turkey, Gunhead, SRT Fury, and I believe it was Sanchez. No, not Sanchez. Who was the last non-finisher? It was Pickled Avenger, wasn't it? He
It was
crashed
Pickled,
out
yes,
at 10th.
yeah.
2 laps two laps running. It's going to be an interesting one for Wednesday's show, the F1XL Extra show. I mean, I didn't stop talking through all of that, so that's a good start on my side when I was on my own. However, for now, Gunhead, thank you very much for stopping by and filling the void.
No problem.
And, well, from me and everyone else at F1XL, we hope you have a great 2021, and we are going to be back on Wednesday for the extra show. Goodbye.